Okay. Hello, everybody. In this talk, I will talk about bug classification using Radar-ETU. I'm a security researcher. I'm specialized in vulnerability research and exploit development. Just for a note, I never found a web vulnerability because I don't like. All the work that I'm presenting here is mine, not of my employer. This is the summary that we will see, and I will start with the motivation. If you work as a vulnerability researcher, often happen that you have to analyze some crash in order to understand if it is exploitable, and then which type of vulnerability you found. The problem is that if you have to analyze two vulnerability for time, it could be fine, do it manually. But if you have to analyze something like 100 vulnerability for time, I think automatization is needed. And then the purpose of this tool is to create something that is to integrate into an automated script. Okay, of course, there are some similar tools like exploitable plugin for GDB or for WinDebug, but this is, of course, easy to integrate. Just to know which type of vulnerability, okay, the tool is able to found are this type of vulnerability, memory corruption vulnerability, like type of confusion, Stack Overflow, heap overflow, and so on. And here there are some recent CV. For example, this is an example of Stack Overflow in the network timing protocol software. We can see that the buffer is fixed, and then in the variable name put as argument I, and this I, in this specific case, for this specific payload, is greater than 256. These are very simple vulnerabilities discovered this year. Here, still about motivation. So, some crashes are not easy to classify. And many times they are classified as, for example, null pointer, the reference that lead the denial of service, something like that. But by the way, a null pointer, the reference could be also could also lead to code execution. This is an example. For example, SAP classified this reported vulnerability like potential denial of service, but instead it was an heap buffer overflow. It was exploitable. Another example, sometimes company reject the vulnerability because they classify it like not exploitable. This is a famous example about 2 years ago, that Zero Day Initiative, an important company, they reject for 4-5 times this vulnerability because classified like not exploitable. Instead, it was a user after free, and it was exploitable. What could be the problem? The problem could be that if a vulnerability is reported as a denial of service, then the patch could be not appropriate. And then maybe it will cause other vulnerability. There are some crashes that generally are exploitable, and we will see one by one this crash. And then the tool that I wrote so far cover just this type of crash. Okay, about Stack Overflow, this, for example, in the screenshot we can see stack machine detected. It means that it's possible to understand that it's just a normal Stack Overflow because, for example, the size of the buffer is fixed, okay? And then there is a weak bound of checking. But if we look a little bit in the stack trace, we can see that the main program, exploit_me, is calling this function stack check fail, and it will terminate with a signal abort. It means that the stack guard patch is to GCC is there. In my case, I have this version of ZCC, but all the new version of VCC, of course, enable this patch by default. This is another simple example of crash on program counter. In this case, for example, the reason of this crash is the presence of the call instruction with a bad argument. In this case, in the two screenshot, it's possible to notice that the address of the stop address, okay, the address of the crash is the same address of the program counter. But if we go in deeper, we see in the second screenshot that from the backtrace that the previous instruction was a call RAX, call a register, and then the crash instruction was just null byte. It means that this register, RAX, could be consoled by an attacker. And if an attacker can console the value of this register, the vulnerability, of course, could be exploitable. This is another example, crash on branch. Here there is also a call instruction, but this time the crash is in this instruction. It means that the address, in this case, is not mapped in the memory. And then in this case also, the stop signal is a segmentation fault. This is also a common crash on memory write. We can see that in this case we have also a crash. The current instruction is move inside the address of RAX number. It means that if an attacker could have the control of the register RAX, it means that this vulnerability could be exploitable. Maybe if this is a loop, then maybe I can write arbitrary value in the memory. This, for example, an example of HIP vulnerability, or better, two different examples of HIP vulnerability. Of course, zlibc, there in the newer zlibc, there are a lot of sanity checks that already provide a lot of information. For example, in the first case is an invalid next size vulnerability after the free. In the second case, it's a double free corruption. And then just analyzing the backtrace in this case, it's possible to understand that is a HIP corruption. Red access violation. I think 90% of the time, red access violation is not exploitable, but there are some cases where it can lead to code execution. For example, if we analyze this case, we can see that the crash instruction is this move inside RAX, the address of RAX. It crashed because the value of RAX is 8. Then I have a segmentation fault. If I analyze this vulnerability with the exploitable plugin for GDB, okay, is an open source project, the result is probably not exploitable. But if we look a little bit deeper, it's possible to understand that this vulnerability is exploitable because in this specific case, the attacker has the console of the RAX register, and then in this specific case is a user after free vulnerability that leads to code execution. And then a simple read access violation instead is a user after free vulnerability that leads to code execution. This just I want to present here my tool. The feature that my tool include are the case that we saw so far, and also a graph view that could help to analyze the crash. This is the GitHub page of the tool. I will release the source code after the talk, maybe this night. I have just to push. And then this is, for example, an help view of the tool that take as argument a target, but we will see it in a demo. And this is an example of an output. In this specific case, it's a crash on program counter, and then the backtrace and the register. I try my tool also with a real vulnerability. For example, this is the network time protocol tool, the buffer overflow that we saw before, and this is the result. Then if I run with this payload, the tool discovered that this is a Stack Overflow vulnerability, and it could be exploitable due to suspicious function in the backtrace. About the graph generation, okay, the purpose of this graph generation is to have a runtime graph view. Okay, what the tool do? Just print the sequence of the executed function, and then for every node, the graph will contain the function name with the starting address, and while the edge that connect to node contain the number of the sequence of the execution. This is an example, okay, of the tool. This is a crash. This is a crash. At the beginning, there is a sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the main, at this specific instruction, add byte array, then there is the crash with the information. Okay. Just a little demo in order to show how to use them. Okay. These are all the files. If we want to use, for example, this help view, then if I pass as target, I prepare a demo for this. Then it will tell that this binary is a Stack Overflow, and this is the backtrace, and it is exploitable. Then if I show you the source code, because I forgot to do it before, this is just a simple example of a buffer overflow compiled, and it will show you this information. It's possible, of course, to have the graph with this information. And this is the result of the graph. It means that this is the entry point, then the main, call this function, exploit me, and then this stack check fail that generate these exploitable windows. Okay. Okay, I think I'm not sure that I have time for. Maybe yes. I can show you also an example of a stack on program counter. Crash on program counter. Sorry. This is the simple program compiled with the GCC compiler, and then if I run this program. The tool recognizes that this is a crash on program counter vulnerability. Then if I want to do the graph also of this, In this case, the graph is easy because the program is very easy. This is the main with the crash detail, that is this. This is the crash instruction. This is the backtrace. This is the register. And then this is the classification, probably exploitable. Okay. Then future direction. Of course, so far the tools support only x86 architecture, 32 and 64. Then it would be nice to extend it also on ARM. I didn't have time to do it. Then another task is improvement of the graph view. Is based on RadarQ because I have to fix some part of RadarQ, but I didn't have time also to do it. Analyze of core dump, because so far it will analyze just the program from command line that you are doing, and then using of instrumentation from GraphView. So far, I'm not using instrumentation, but I'm using a very bad way to do it. I just put a breakpoint in every function. Okay, but it's just an introduction. Okay. Okay, finish. Of course, if you want to contribute, you are welcome. And if you have some question, I think I have some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any question? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.